where we are, whether or not it's even making sense that we started this journey in 1999.
Well, you know, the democracy we find ourselves is a democracy of necessity, not a democracy where we really had that sitting before we got into it. It was a necessity because we're moving from an annulled election from 1993 towards 1999, 1998, 99 at the departure of Abacha.
With the military interregnum.
Yes, if not for the departure of Abacha, nothing would have given room for where we are today. It was just a democracy of necessity. And regrettably, there was nothing constructive that was done to ameliorate that stopgap that we are facing now. Because we failed to plan on the premise of how the democracy is going to look like. Some few men sat, reconstruct what they feel best suits themselves, impute some certain sections into the Constitution, now grandstand all of us on behalf of all of us under a decree 24 of the 1999 Constitution to place and shook onto our throat that we the people have started to give this obnoxious, a constitution that we are now reviewing. That is a wastage. Even the entire from the I think it is from the 4th Assembly to to the 9th, 10th Assembly now. If the 10th Assembly will not be doing anything different rather than to go reconstruct the Constitution, if they are consolidating or reviewing, they will have the same Waterloo that their previous assembly had as experience. Because the Constitution we are talking about is not about review. There must have been a letter from the president informing on the need to reconstruct and discontinue.
Let's understand the concept of reconstruct within the, the context of your narrative. Yes. What does that mean? We do away altogether with this constitution?
Yes, you have to do away. You know, when you reconstruct, it gives you room for you to bring your own set of ideas. Now we are just doing copy and paste. If without the Britain, can't we just have a solo thinking of what best suits our own African mentality and our region? Must we import parliamentary system before we know how to manage our region? God gave us wisdom. The best we can do is to have, the way I've termed it, is expanded presidential system of government with a collegiate interest of how to manage the various sections of the country, the regions, with a collegiate unitary formation at the regional level. But at the federal level, everybody knows that, yes, we are one family. We all have this system that we are talking in our various family settings. You know that from this family, there is always a family tree. But you know how much from your various sections of your family line. When it comes to having the central head of the family or the Olori, everybody knows who is the head of the family. And within every small substructure of the family, they equally have their own singular Olori within their own family. So that same system, that's African mentality. And we know that best suits us. All we just need to do is to be genuine and be critical. Just as you are rightly advised that there should be philosophers, which I've equally advised here before now. That is not about the National Assembly sitting. In this 10th Assembly, how many Assembly members are sitting on the floor of the House to discuss this fundamental issue? You look at them, the population is not up to 30 that are having consistent sitting and commitment to sit in the House. So if people are not philosophizing on behalf of the National Assembly, on behalf of the government needs to inaugurate a think tank of people to come up with an advisory, not just a sit-out party now that sovereign national conference. No, let there be a model. Let that think tank bring the document together, and next documents together. That document that committee will bring together will be the subject of discussion from the state sovereign national conference to regional sovereign national conference before we come to the national conference itself, of people to really come together and vote via a plebiscite. We have not yet moved into, we are talking about a real construction of constitution.
So what we're doing now is still cut and nail.
We are just not just getting near the solution. If we must get into it, it might take us 10 years approach. It might take us 2 years. It may take us 3. But it depends on how serious. If you are too serious and committed, we can do it within a year. If you are very committed as citizen and patriotic, not that the Igbos want to think and take advantage just to walk away at the Odua Republic will use the opportunity to begin to devise their own crooked means, or the military will take advantage to steal the government away. So if all of us are committed to this task, and there is seriousness and passion on the part of the president, the Senate president, and everybody look at it that this is a more national issue. Once the conversation is bridged together, we have what is called a reconstruction of a new people's constitution and not a review. That must be spelled out explicitly. Also, we will now begin to marshal the way out. Okay, now this 21-man committee with the royal father, lawyers, doctors, everybody, philosophers, people that have been on the street agitating for this review constitution, irrespective of political party, senior lawyers should be brought on the table. Because I, as a lawyer, I'm always against the 1999 constitution, that I cannot be so much in alignment with a constitution that emanates from the military. And that same constitution is what I'll be so proud to be quoting and giving reference to. No, that's not democracy. But I need something that connects me back. That is, let us go back, reconstruct, make this constitution, once you have come up with it, give it into different language that our people, local language, the Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, the Igbos. Let there be at least 5 different languages that it will be constructed and interpreted with, so that our people down there on the street will know the content of our laws. It will be a daily conversation. Everybody will know. In churches, you discuss it. In mosques, everybody knows the purpose of what they are all discussing. That this is the law. They've come up with an expanded system. There will be regional governance structure in terms of, we already have a region, but do we have a complete region? That is the problem. Is the region properly segmented, whereby you have Yoruba indigenes within the north central zone that will be from Kogi, Kwara? We have some states that are Yoruba inclined, but they are shared on the aspect of northern region. Let there be properly delineated, and let there be equilibrium. If it is 6 states in the southeast, it must be 6 states in the south-south, and so in north central and northwest. Is
that realistic?
That is very possible. If we must look at equity, let all hands know that. Do you know what it took the northern region to have more local government than the entire state within some states in Kano? And it took Lagos to just want to expand to 57, another Herculean tax, and was not accepted. But if it is not about the way the thing, you know, a lot of our local government were given to us by the military. Right. So there was no sit down. Everybody just took advantage of their own interests. A small community is a local government in the north, whereby you go to the whole of Ogbomoso that is almost half of another state in another country. But you find out that because we are never so committed, we look at the inequality as part of our ailment, that, oh, if it is your southwest, if you cannot come, you must not meet up with us. The north will be counting higher population. The south are not properly delineated, or there is no proper state construction. So let us now, because even as part of this argument now, I read that some lawmakers in Obokun federal constituency are planning to have more states.
More states, yes.
In the southwest.
Up to 4 states.
That is just within Osun State and Ogun State.
Right.
There is also a proposal in Lagos for Lagoon State. There is also, if all these things must come, let everybody come up with what best suits them.
Across all the regions.
Across all the region. But what the philosophers must not lose eyes on the ball is equity. If it is all about the size, if it's all about the state, let there be. If we are now going to have 8 regions, let's know that there are some certain section of this country that are not even supposed to be within the particular segment of region. They are being clustered to. Everybody understand themselves. Let not have the south, north, central. Let us have a region by our identity. If it is the Odudua region, let us know that this is the Odudua region. If it is the Biafra region, let us know this is the Biafra region. But it's Nigeria. There must be identity to who we are. There's no
as it stands today, Hassan, do you think Nigeria, as we know it, still exists?
Nigeria exists. In our heart, Nigeria exists. You know Nigeria exists. Look at that.
Because everybody seems to think in terms of ethnicity and tribe.
No, you will know that Nigeria exists, even if we go by any means tomorrow. And that love of that Nigeria, you know Nigeria exists when we lost the African Cup of Nations finals. Nigeria exists in our heart.
Yeah, we don't play AFCON every day, do we?
We do. Maybe you don't know how much that have really, ignite our commitment to our citizenship, patriotic interest. Because not every day we talk about Nigeria. But when it comes to that love of that ram leather game, we come around, we begin to have that zeal, that passion. Everybody begin to drop down everything. Immediately that ends, we will now come to no, I'm a Christian, I'm this. At every other topics, must we have that conversation? The only thing we need is proper orientation. Once Nigerians can have 3 square meals per day, they can have lights, they can have good roads. All these things are what the government can do for us. That's the duty. The government no longer begin to bear the sufferings. No. The government needs to hit the ground running. The government don't need to go and open the entire silos as if we are at the peak of a war without planning. All they need to do is to have an open market, import, create local market until you are balanced, until you have a balance of supply and demand. When everything is proper at an equilibrium, that's when you can begin to now soft ground of, okay, our local market. We have a lot of forest reserve that needs to be converted for farmland in the southwest, in the southeast, whereby we need to be exporting. A private individual can build 10 hectares of farmland only if the enabling environment is there for him. Not that when he's trying to invest, one man in the Ministry of Agriculture will be siphoning the money or thinking about how to cut share. What is his own percentage? If you don't begin to cut percentage on our interest, whatever the kind of constitution we are bringing, if you are not committed as individual, that constitution will just be a paper in the archive. But we need a real people's constitution. The conversation must go thus. Let Mr. President announce to us. Is he part of this process? Is he part of the process? If he's part, he must initiate an executive process from his own office, not the House of Rep, House of Senate. At the end of the day, you give them 1 billion for the sitting allowance. No, they cannot collect another separate money for constitutional review. They can't collect another money separate. There should not be a separate budget because what they are being paid as member is the duty they are performing. Must we pay extra money for them doing what they swore to do as senators? Those are the problems we'll be having from previous assembly. The senators see it as a cash cow. When they make mention of, I want to be on the Constitutional Review Committee because I'll make money, I'll be, what are you making money for? To be passionate, to think. I alone can match 1963 Constitution where we are constructing some laws together now, trying to help them, trying to ensure that if we look at the German law, we look at the Japanese law, we look at some certain law, Netherlands law, even the UK and America, we are trying to synergize laws together now. How do we, what is best suit in this place, in Japan? Let's bring it together. Then let's now construct something best suitable for ourselves. We have the need policy. We have the conference, the National Conference report. Let's bring everything on the table. Then once we bring on the table, all we just need is just to harmonization. We are not doing anything different. Harmonize and come up with something realistic that from every local government. That is our problem. The politicians are not interested to that last man that is at the grassroots. Who is the person? that is leading us at the grassroots. If you have a good local government mayor, a chairman, who is more detailed, like a governor within his region, in his own local government, and very serious to abide by the law, we would have developed far more. But if you're always looking at from the top to bottom, we will not get it right. It must be from the bottom to top approach. So the construction must be new people's constitution with expanded presidential meaning. Expanded meaning that if it's rotational, we know that this is the region power is going to. If it's the turn of the Igbo man, no southwest, no northern man dare pick up a form in any political party, because that is our law.
So again, that is now zoning.
We must enshrine proper situated zoning.
Not what determined by godfathers and money bags from political parties.
If not,
yes,
the situation we all engross ourselves in 2023 will repeat itself eternally. Because if the southwest are leaving, and there is another new better southwest person in 2027, and after that 2027, another new better southwest man is also very dear to also proclaim that is ready to do for all Nigerians. Nigerians will be moved by sentiments. Nigerians will be moved by those euphoria. If no matter anything, they will no longer be thinking about the region again. They will not be so, because these people are already providing good governance, let us stay with one angel that we know, or the devil we know. But it will not be equitable. And that is why I said, let the presidential system be known. If the 7 years, one term, let's know, so that the review of you coming, do you know how much we spend on second term election? Is almost, because at the end of the, let me give you this arithmetic. A government comes in the first term. First year, second year, that is governance. From third year to the fourth year, that is replanning for second term. That is wastage of governance.
So he comes back second term. He does next to nothing.
He just does nothing because you just know that the second term is that the first 2 years is for himself. The second 2 years is for his protege that is to install. That's you will now be shopping for who to install, rather than also concentrating on governance.
On what he has done in the first term.
That is the way we always have. Just out of 8 years, we only just have 3.5 years maximum of governance. 4.5 years is just for campaign and politics, and nothing more. If you continue to run a state like that, you cannot think about good roads. Everything will just be garbage in, garbage out. But if we have it seriously, 7 years one term, 8 years one term, you know that you're winning. That region is taking their 8-year stretch. Let them do. If they are having it, once it's another region, we will know it will not be competitiveness. Oh, when it's our turn, this is what we did. When it's the turn of the Hausa man, this is what they are doing. When it's everybody will have fair share, and there will be rest of mind. There will not be this quest for the Biafran land. They will not give us arithmetic that countries break away. Our breaking away will not solve our problem, because we run an animal farm system in this part of the world, whereby no matter who you are bringing, look at the entire agitators in various places now. You look at the kind of corruption they are going through, even in political parties. Look at what's happening in the Labour Party. Look at the agitation. Oh, we are the one to provide good governance. How were they even able to even manage internal intra-party affairs? The embezzlement is here and there, nailing them. Is that the people? If you have to be looking at that, people will vote for the wrong person. But if we are very serious, if you talk about the Yoruba now, and that's why I'm very committed that if we don't reconstruct and give there be a regional segmentation, then let there be proper delineation. Then let there be more state. Let there be total balancing across board.
Let me ask you this. Why is it difficult to evolve a new constitution? What are the obstacles along
Because
the way?
People always feel there are some certain elements in this country that feel that immediately with the constitution, they lost totally. There are some people who feel the way the country is. Do you know how much some people are making every day on this country? How much is being repatriated out of this country every day, every minute as we sit, and we are running, we are being placed at the poverty capital of the world, because these people are just heartless. They are not thinking at the same table we are thinking. I'm a passionate Nigerian. As a lawyer, I'm committed to ensuring that, what can we do? How best can we get this done? Must we always be pursuing a state police at the premise of the National Assembly members who doesn't even understand what is their own orientation before going into election? Some of them don't even have an experience because they are just money bags and they can throw money around for welfare, goodies and all that. And then they just elect them. Some just come on the premise of, let me just wear the toga of a senator. Some just want to have that green barrel to just be using the government plate number to commit other crimes. We have a lot of people with different obnoxious interests, but few of them also have commitment to national interest. But how much? That's the critical question. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I'm his ardent supporter, but I will not hesitate to tell him the truth that 1 year is already fast going. Before you know it, you will begin to ask, you will ask for your scorecard. Wole Soyinka said he's going to wait 1 year. We are just asking now for your scorecard because we are committed to this project together. It's democracy. For me, as the president of Yoruba Council Worldwide, I wouldn't want our region to be thrown in bad light. That, oh, look at the era now. We are suffering. We are having the sufferings now has no limit of either political party. But there is solution. The solution is, firstly, solving the law. The secondly, providing accurate welfare. The governors are receiving higher allocation. But is those higher allocation transmitting into what they are spending in their various states? Who is checkmating the governor? The state assembly don't have powers to checkmate the governors. Go to their various states. All the state assembly members, they are just pocket bootlickers. I'm sorry to say this. That is the system we are yoked with. So, but I believe we can get it right if we have an expanded constitution. Let there be conversation. Let's keep the Constituent Assembly alive. Let there be a fourth year of government, federal, state, local government, and let us have traditional institutions.
Incidentally, that's where we are going to leave it. Oladotun Hassan, a lawyer and president, Yoruba Council Worldwide, has come to share very valuable insights with us this morning with regards to the conversations we've had on Global Morning. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
It's a full cycle on the program. We'll see you again tomorrow, but then it will be Juma Manson and Anthony Mamodu. Do stay with us here on Global Television.